Well, you haven't lived until you see Ted Turner do the Macarena. Bottom of the fifth inning, and Atlanta Braves bat bottom three in their lineup, and the Cardinals lead 3-2. Into right center field. Sends Langford back. One away. So Perez, who had drawn a walk his first time up, flies to deep right center.
Well, we've seen some collisions in the outfield throughout the postseason. You can see Langford put his hand up. He's calling for the ball. Jordan was doing the same thing initially, but at the last second, Jordan gave way. The center fielder is the captain out there in the outfield, unless it's a throwing situation, and then I'm sure we would see Brian Jordan take that catch.
Tell you what, that shot shows you as much as anything that Ray Langford's rotator cuff is better.
Got his hand up to hold Jordan off.
Yeah.
Here's Mabry giving a look at strike one on Blauser. But holding your hand up is fine, but you better start yelling. And finally, Langford opened his mouth, and Jordan stayed away. Blauser bounced into a force out. His first time up, and he looks at ball one.
Speaking about Ray Langford's rotator cuff, so far that has been a non-issue in these two ball games. It has not come into play, but it could.
One out, nobody on. Strike two on Blauser. There's a slider from Stottlemyre.
You know, early in his career with the Toronto Blue Jays, Todd Stottlemyre had tremendous stuff, but I think he felt that he had to throw all four of his pitches to every hitter, every at-bat. He's learned now to work to get to that slider and finish off the hitter with his best pitch.
As Blauser set up at 1-2, you know, one of the first things Tony La Russa and Dave Duncan did when they came to St. Louis was say, go get this guy. We need Todd Stottlemyre on our staff. And the bottom point there, he's learned to control his emotions. Very emotional. Would get frustrated, would get thrown out of whack if something didn't go right. He's been able to control himself, and his wins have shot up, as have his strikeouts.
He learned a lot of that from Dave Stewart. The great Oakland Athletics pitcher is now working in the Oakland front office. He and Stewart became very close friends with Toronto. Almost looked like he learned his glare from Stewart, too.
Blauser checked his swing. He went around. They finally appeal, and the first base umpire, Bob Davidson, rings him up. So a strikeout in the sixth of the night for Stottlemyre.
Looked like Jeff Blauser tried to talk first base umpire Bob Davidson into that being ball four instead of a strikeout.
He had enough time to make a strong case. It took a little while. Normally a hitter goes that far, the home plate umpire just calls strike three.
Right.
So two out, nobody on, and Maddox has to swing the bat. He went around on that cut. Strike one.
Well, no doubt about this one. High fastball from Stottlemyre. Maddox gets well out in front of home plate. No argument there.
So far, Stottlemyre has struck out 6. Maddox has struck out only 1. There's strike 2 on Maddox. During the regular season, had 10 hits and 68 at-bats. Pretty efficient. Two balls, 2 strikes on Maddox, trying to keep the inning alive for MARQUIS GRISSOM. Stottlemyre has retired 7 in a row. He has struck out 7. We are through 5. Maddox just gets the ball right back. Now he goes to work. 6th inning, 3-2 St. Louis. After 5 keep the Cardinals out in front 3-2. Our Aflac trivia question: who's the only player to hit 2 home runs in a postseason game for the Cardinals? I know the answer to this question, so I'm going to take myself out of this.
And I know the answer to this one as well.
Mr. McCarver?
Well, I don't.
Gaetti leads it off, strike 1. He is in the ballpark today. Gary has only 2 hits in the postseason, 1 here last night. The other coming in the first game in the division playoff against San Diego. The first inning, 2-out, 3-run home run, which really set the scene and got the Cardinals rolling along in their sweep over San Diego. 0-2 to Gaetti. Boy, that barely missed. Wow, 1-2.
Well, that's a pitch that Greg Maddux is used to getting throughout the regular season and early in the postseason, but not getting it tonight.
1-2 to Gaetti. Do it again.
Here you'll see the 0-2 pitch to Gaetti. Perez setting up on the outside corner. This pitch is just a little off of the outside corner, but as we saw in last night's ball game and in many ball games throughout the course of this season, that's called a strike a lot of times.
Gaetti stays alive, especially with Maddux on the mound. He will get maybe an extra inch or two, like Tony Gwynn at the plate gets an extra inch or two.
What's interesting about this at bat is Maddux is working Gaetti away, and the or the Brave infield is playing Gaetti with 3 infielders on the left side. So they have the shift on, but Maddux is working him away.
Well, he definitely has him set up to come inside with something hard.
Stays away, misses low, 2-2. The temperature has really dropped here in Atlanta. It is a cold October 10th night in Georgia.
Coming inside.
2-2. Off the hands, and Gaetti fouls it right off our monitor. Oh, man. Off the ceiling, off the back of Tim McCarver.
Off of my back.
Into the seats.
I thought when I took the tools of ignorance off, that was the end of the foul tips. That thing hit our telestrator, too.
2-2 to Gaetti, now 3-2.
I should have called you off, Timmy. I saw it all the way, but I thought you were in front of it.
I was gone. You were calling where I was.
3-2 to Gaetti, and another one. This one over our heads. They're shooting at us.
Now they've got us gun shy up here.
Don't tell me they have a replay of this.
And here it is right here, right in the back. There it is right there, right there.
Oh.
Telestrator still works.
Hearing from our lawyers tomorrow morning.
By the way, Gaetti strikes out, 1 away here in the 6th.
McCarver's listed as day-to-day.
Our Aflac trivia question: the only player to hit 2 home runs in 1 postseason game for the Cardinals?
Red Shandies.
Willie McGee.
Wrong.
Had one of the greatest single games in World Series history. Not only did he hit 2 home runs, he took a home run away from Gorman Thomas when he climbed the wall at County Stadium. The Cardinals went on to win that game and that series 4-3. Here's Mabry, 1 out. Right at McGriff. Tricky little hop at the end, 2 out. Two out, nobody on, and the batter will be Pagnozzi. Pagnozzi has a double, has a ground out, so 1 for 2. Has 5 hits in the postseason and rips one right at Chipper Jones. A 1-2-3 6th inning for Maddux. He's still rolling. So Stottlemyre, bottom of the 6th inning, 3-2 St. Louis. The Braves offense will lead off here in the 6th inning. MARQUIS GRISSOM, his 1 swing put the Braves back into this game. trailing 3-0. That was a 2-out. 2-run homer. Made it 3-2, and it still stands 3-2. Bottom of the 6th inning, and ball 1 from Stottlemyre.
The one thing a hitter can eliminate, if he hits a home run on a certain pitch, eliminate it your next at bat. Sure enough, Stottlemyre coming back with 2 straight fastballs. Grissom hit the slider out. Now Stottlemyre trying to get ahead of him with the fastball. He's missed twice.
Had a good swing at that pitch. 2-1. Stottlemyre has allowed Atlanta 2 runs on 2 hits. What really hurt inside that 3rd inning was the leadoff walk. His only walk of the night. Into left field, a leadoff base hit for Grissom. And the tying run is on.
Now, what do you do if you're Bobby Cox right now? Not only is the tying run on, but the fastest runner on the Atlanta ball club is on. Do you waste an out and bunt with Lemke to get to Jones and McGriff? Or do you hit and run? Or do you straight steal and then bunt? Those are the options left for Bobby Cox right here.
One thing to consider, Todd Stottlemyre allowed 30 stolen bases during the regular season, second most, second only to Hideo Nomo of the Dodgers. He allowed 50. Ball 1 on Lemke.
Good running situation now, because since Lemke's ahead of Stottlemyre, that negates the pitch out for the most part.
A leadoff hit by Grissom. And a 2-0 count on Lemke. Now forget the pitch out.
Absolutely.
And now it becomes a perfect hit and run situation because Stottlemyre has to throw a strike here. Lemke handles the bat very well. Big hole on the right side of the infield.
And he's not going on strike 1.
One thing against a hit and run is that Stottlemyre throws a lot of fly balls. And remember, on the hit and run, the objective of the hitter is to put the ball in play on the ground.
Not going again, and that barely missed. Stottlemyre wanted that pitch, didn't get it. It's 3-1.
Well, this is what we were talking to Tony La Russa about Bobby Cox today. He said when his team is rolling, he'll just sit back on the bench and cross his arms and watch him play ball. But when it becomes a tight ball game and there's managing to do, Bobby Cox will be right up on that top step. He loves this.
A leadoff hit, now 3-1 on Lemke. A hit and a walk. By Grissom, the walk to Lemke. Now Jones, McGriff, and Klesko coming up.
Stottlemyre has gotten into trouble in this ball game when he's had to pitch out of the stretch. A 1-2-3 first inning, he worked out of the windup. A 1-2-3 second inning, no problem. The 3rd inning, he has a leadoff walk, gets into the stretch, ends up giving up 2 runs. 4th inning, 5th inning, 1-2-3, no problem. Pitching out of the windup. Once again, the leadoff single. He's in the stretch, and he finds himself in trouble again.
But Kaizik and Fossis each pitched here last night. They get ready again for La Russa. And Stottlemyre with the Cardinals leading by a run in a jam with Chipper Jones coming up.
The guy in the bullpen that is really hurrying is Tony Fossis, because McGriff is on deck, followed by Ryan Klesko, both left-handed batters. 2 on, nobody out. And
Ball one to Jones.
This is one of those uh-oh situations. One ball, no strikes. He's got to throw a strike. Jones with a ton of power.
Grissom stealing third without a throw.
And no real surprise there that Mark Lemke, the trail runner, didn't try to steal second. He doesn't know what kind of jump Grissom has. So in a situation like that, the trail runner does not have to run if he doesn't get the jump.
Now it's first and third, nobody out, and a 1-1 count on Chipper Jones. Stottlemyre in trouble. Tying run at third. Go ahead run at first. Power threat at the plate. Late cut, 2-2.
Jones got a good pitch to hit there. Fastball middle of the plate. Normally his strength seemed to take just a little bit bigger swing than he's been taking throughout the course of this series.
Grissom a leadoff hit, a stolen base after the walk to Lemke. And a 2-2 count on Jones. Foul.
I think Chipper was looking for that pitch. That was the same pitch that Jones struck out on his first time up. The curveball down and in. This one stays up just a bit. And Jones opened up, Bob, like he was looking for that pitch.
Well, you can see the rotation on that breaking ball going down and in. Jones cheating for it a little bit.
High heat. Jones got a piece, 2-2.
And that's where he wanted to throw that fastball. You could see PAGNOZZI kind of raise up off his haunches. He wanted that pitch up high in the zone.
A 2-2 count on Chipper Jones. 2 on, nobody out. Full count.
This is an interesting situation. If you send Lemke and Jones strikes out, you could have a strike him out, throw him out situation.
He's going. Mabry holds the runner at third. Very good play. 1 out.
Also a good play by Todd Stottlemyre, who went toward first to cover the bag in case Mabry needed him. And then he saw that there might be a play at home, and he hit the deck. With Lemke running, no chance of going to second. Look at Stottlemyre. He thinks there may be a play at home. He slides. That, of course, was intentional. So the Cardinals get the 1 out.
He thought he might be in the line of fire there,
Yeah,
much like Mabry last night on the bunt play hit the deck, and tonight it's Stottlemyre getting down.
By starting the runner, the Braves avoid the double play. It's second and third, 1 out for McGriff. With Fawcett ready in the bullpen, they stay with Stottlemyre. Ball 1.
With the base open here, you can be sure Stottlemyre is going to be very careful with Fred McGriff. If he's going to get a base hit, he's going to have to go out of the zone and hit Stottlemyre's pitch.
Second and third, 1 out. 1 ball, 1 strike on McGriff. This is the chance the Braves have been looking for with Maddox pitching. Maddox has not allowed any runs since the third. A base hit puts Atlanta out in front. Out field extremely deep with McGriff at the plate. 2-1.
I think if you are thinking of pitching around McGriff in this situation, you may do it with fastballs. If you try the breaking ball, that's the pitch that's in the dirt, could get away from PAGNOZZI. So if you're going to pitch around him, he's thrown him 3 straight fastballs. See if he sticks with it.
Missed the corner, 3-1, and Stottlemyre has been behind every hitter this inning. And it looks like he's trying to make that perfect pitch, and if he wants him, he walks him.
Yeah, you're right, Joe.
Well, the misconception a lot of people have, when you pitch around a hitter, you should throw the pitch you have the best control of.
Right.
The bases are loaded for Klesko. A single, a stolen base, 2 walks in the inning. And it looks like La Russa will stay with Stottlemyre. Klesko 0 for 2. Base hit. Grissom ties it. They hold Lemke. It's a 3-3 game.
We talked about that fastball that Ryan Klesko loves. He got it and rifles it into right field. With 2 outs, Jimmy Williams, the third base coach, sends Mark Lemke. But with 1 out, no way, it's hit too hard. Good job by Jordan. He pounces on it in a hurry.
Klesko's RBI hit ties it. A 3-3 game in the 6th inning, and the batter will be the rookie Jermaine Dye. Lemke, McGriff, and Klesko aboard. Tie game here in the 6th.
Dye has looked very bad on breaking balls away. A strikeout and a short fly to center.
There's another short fly to center. Gallego going out. Lemke stays put, 2 out.
And again, the right guy caught the ball. Mike Gallego normally would give way to Langford, but because of Langford's throwing arm, the torn rotator cuff, Gallego made sure that he made the catch instead of Langford.
So now with Eddie Perez scheduled to come up, Bobby Cox is going to go to the Atlanta bench.
That's a ball that Langford could have caught with a couple more of those long strides that he has. He could have made that play.
And really, in any other situation, with a runner at third, you let the center fielder catch it with his momentum going toward the plate.
That's right.
That's good coaching on the part of the Cardinals, alerting everybody to the fact if you can take it away from Langford in a situation where you may have to throw.
We saw it in last night's game when Brian Jordan on the ball hit to right center. Brian Jordan opted to take it instead of Langford.
Bobby Cox will go to Terry Pendleton. Off the bench, batting with the bases loaded against his former organization. He pinch hits for Eddie Perez, who is 0 for 1. Very anxious. Strike 1. Always good with the bases loaded. 335 hitter with 4 grand slams. Lemke, McGriff, and Klesko still waiting. Pendleton batting for Perez, strike 2.
And because of that, that means Javier Lopez is in the game. Last night's hero driving in the 2 winning runs. So what Bobby Cox is doing here, he's using 2 players for 1 spot, Pendleton and Lopez.
Oh, 2 to Pendleton. Wouldn't chase it. Pendleton almost jumped out of his high tops on those first 2 pitches. Stottlemyre wanted to see if he'd chase it. 1 and 2. Bases loaded, 2 out. Pitch was up, and Stottlemyre got away with it.
Got away with a hanging breaking ball right there to Terry Pendleton. He's in a very defensive mode up there at the plate right now. He's going to try to foul off the tough pitches and just hope that Stottlemyre makes a mistake, and he got one right there and couldn't capitalize.
Two and 2. Two hits, 2 walks in the inning. The only RBI picked up by Klesko. The Braves have tied it 3-3 in the 6th. Their chance to take the lead for the first time tonight. Down the right field line, foul. Talked about Stottlemyre being efficient with his pitches early. This has been a 30-pitch inning for the Cardinal right-hander. .96 on the night. Does he have anything left to get Pendleton? Yep. Inning over. Braves get 1. They wanted more. At the end of 6, tied at 3. We'll be back after this from your local Fox station. Back where we started after 6, a 3-3 game. Cardinals have out-hit Atlanta 7-4. The error played a role back in the first inning when the Cardinals got their first run. And here in the 7th inning, it will be Gallego, Stottlemyre, and Clayton. Gallego first up. 0 for 2 tonight with a couple of groundouts. Off Maddox. Blauser can't make the play, or can he? Nope. And it's a leadoff base hit. Great recovery by Blauser to even make it close, and the Braves have to hope that Maddox is all right.
That was scary. That ball right on top of him in a hurry. I think it hit his glove. He just told Javier Lopez he's all right.
Boy, those are the kind you'll see in the middle of the night, wake you up in a cold sweat right here. Fastball right down the heart of the plate. Gallego sends it right back where it came from. Self-defense on Maddox's part, able to just deflect it over towards Blauser, who knocks the ball down. If he's able to come up with a clean the first time, he may have a play at first base.
Wow.
Whoa.
Looks like it was off the thumb of the glove. Great play by Blauser to make it close at first.
When that ball trickled away from Blauser, you just marked down base hit.
Yeah.
But he scrambled, made it close. It's a hit nonetheless. Fortunately for Atlanta and Maddox, that's all it is. A leadoff single. And now with that leadoff single, the Cardinals will go to their bench and call on Mark Sweeney. Sweeney in the postseason 1 out of 2. He pinch hit here last night in the 9th inning and struck out against Wohlers.
If Stottlemyre had not thrown so many pitches last inning, he may have stayed in the ball game here to sacrifice Gallego into scoring position, but because of the high pitch count in that last inning, I think Tony La Russa thought he'd had enough.
So if Sweeney's the hitter, he's probably hitting, not bunting.
Pops up. It is not caught. A fair ball. The throw gets away. Gallego heads for third. They may try to score him. They hold him. Sweeney down to second with nobody out. We'll wait on the ruling. Sweeney's bunt was so bad, it worked out to the Cardinals' benefit as Jones couldn't come up with it on the diving try.
Sweeney, you'll see here, bunts the ball down the third baseline. Jones with the diving attempt right at the foul line. A good call. He short hops it. Gets to his feet to make the throw to first base. Just too high for Lemke to make the play on and stay on the bag. Gallego had held at second base. Nobody's covering third base at this point. You can see Lopez standing next to Jones. Blauser's on second base. Gallego could have advanced on this play even without an overthrow.
Interesting thing about that play, had Chipper Jones let the ball go foul, had he not touched the ball, it goes foul. Gallego, once he sees the call by the home plate umpire, goes to second. The overthrow to right field. He goes to third.
It's ruled a sacrifice E5. Second error of the night for Atlanta. And now Clayton with runners at second and third. That is ball one. As Clayton checked his swing and the crowd didn't like it, that Bob Davidson gave the safe call. He's the first base umpire.
Tony La Russa last night not bunting with Luis Alicea. Tonight he sends up his best left-handed pinch hitter, Mark Sweeney, and he bunts in that situation.
Funny thing is, he has done that a number of times this season. And if you're going to bunt, you would think, heck, they could even leave Stottlemyre in there to bunt.
Yeah.
And not use Sweeney. That missed in the count 2-0 on Clayton, so Maddox in trouble. And a line drive base hit by Gallego, who hit only .210 during the regular season, started this mess.
And the best relievers that the Braves have in the pen are all right-handed. Greg McMichael, Brad Klontz. Of course, the stopper, Mark Wohlers, all right-handed pitchers. He may wish he had that left-handed bat later in the ballgame.
2-0 to Clayton. There's a strike, 2-1. Javier Lopez takes over behind the plate. Second and third, nobody out. 2-1 to Clayton. 2-2.
It's a comeback sinker on the outside part of the plate. Starts it several inches off the outside corner and just does catch the outside corner.
When Greg Maddux needs the ground ball, he's more inclined to stay away from hitters. We'll see if Lopez goes back outside. Middle infielders are back for the Braves. They're willing to give up the 1 run, not 2.
Second and third, nobody out. And a full count on Clayton.
Good block by Lopez. Anticipating that breaking ball being in the dirt. Got his body squared up, made a good block.
One difference as you get another look at the bench. Javi Lopez behind the plate. Eddie Perez out of the game during the regular season. Maddox with Perez behind the plate had a record of 10-5 and an ERA of 1.89. With Lopez 5-6 and an ERA of 3.44. Because they pinch hit for Perez with Pendleton. It's Lopez behind the plate. Second and third, nobody out, and a 3-2 pitch coming to Clayton. That'll load him up on a pitch that barely missed. So a hit, a sacrifice, an error, and now a walk.
Well, he'd gone out there twice already in the at-bat. This one is just a little too far off the corner. Hirschbeck has been very consistent with his strike zone tonight, not giving that pitch that's well off the outside corner.
It's been a strange night for Maddox. He's allowed 3 runs on 8 hits. He struck out only 2. He's walked 1. And the 2 errors have definitely hurt him. Now bases loaded, nobody out for Langford. Ball 1 from Maddox.
And starts Langford with the changeup. Notorious first ball fastball hitter. Tried to take advantage of his aggressiveness, but Langford's not biting at that changeup in the dirt.
And the Braves trying to cut down on the big inning by playing for the double play and not having the infield in. They're willing to give up the 1 run, but not more than that.
1-0 to Langford. A ball and a strike. You saw the numbers for Langford. 1 out of 9 in the postseason. With the bases loaded, 1 grand slam in the career for Ray Langford. Just a .264 hitter. Bases loaded, nobody out, tie game. Another changeup in the dirt, and the count 2-1.
You could see the grip of Greg Maddux in the glove. When a pitcher chokes the ball like that, you know a changeup is coming. This has to be a changeup, and it was a nice play by Javier Lopez on a ball in the dirt.
Ray Langford trying to put the Cardinals on top here in the 7th. Bases loaded, nobody out. Strike 2.
That's 4 consecutive changeups to Ray Langford.
Unbelievable.
You can see Maddux working that grip in his glove. Normally a pitcher will hold the ball with his index and his middle finger to throw a fastball or a breaking ball. Maddux slides that index finger down, makes a circle with his thumb, and throws the ball off his ring finger and his middle finger for the changeup. There it is again.
Into center field, well hit. Gallego will tag. The throw to third. The Cardinals take the lead 4-3. Langford the sac fly to center for his first postseason RBI, and the Cardinals regain the lead here in the 7th.
One changeup after another, Bob.
An old baseball cliche, you shouldn't throw the same pitch 3 times in a row. Maddux throws 5 consecutive changeups here to Ray Langford. Finally throws one for a strike. Langford waits and pokes it into center field to drive in the run.
So Langford, who had been struggling, finally breaks through with the RBI, putting the Cardinals back out in front. And now with 2 on, 1 out, the batter is Gant, who has already had a big night. Fastball for strike 1. Sweeney, the runner at second. Clayton, the trailer at first. Here's Gant, 3 out of 3. Pair singles, a double, an RBI, and a run scored. Strike 2.
That's putting a slider through the eye of a needle right there.
And you can see the difference in the grip. He's gripping that ball with his index finger and his middle finger, which indicates it's either going to be a sinker or a slider, some kind of traditional pitch, as opposed to what we saw earlier with that circle changeup.
To Gant, reached up and got a piece of it.
You know, and it's very easy for the runner at second base to see exactly what we're seeing on that center field camera shot there. I know in the past teams used to make it a point to try to steal pitches from a pitcher and relay them to the hitter in some way, shape, or form.
If not the pitch, location.
Sweeney is that runner at second, but looking in at Maddux. See the grip from there. 2 on, 1 out, 0-2. Gets away, and the runners try to advance. They will. It's a wild pitch, but a ball that Javier Lopez did not get down and block.
Well, it's the worst possible way to go after a ball in the dirt as a catcher. He tried to backhand the ball, and what you do is you expose the harder part of the mitt. That's the heel of the glove. Watch the backhand. Heel of the glove, caroms off, wild pitch, but a ball that should have been fielded by Lopez.
Maddux threw only 4 wild pitches during the regular season. Lopez, first inning behind the plate. Now the infield has to come in. Second and third, 1 out. 1-2 to Gant. 2-2. This is certainly an inning where Greg Maddox's confidence in Javier Lopez will not grow. Second and third, 1 out, and a 2-2 count. Got it.
Well, guys, Leo Mazzoni didn't tell us the truth. This is the third curveball of the night that he gets Ron Gant on. Of course, Leo didn't say that Ron Gant would be the batter with runners on at second and third after going 3 for 3 and seeing all fastball sliders all night. So Greg Maddux with his third curveball of the night.
Now they put Jordan on for the intentional walk, load him up for Gaetti. And Leo Mazzoni, I'm sure, coming into him, had no idea this game would unfold the way it has. This is really a very un-Maddox-like performance tonight. Granted, a few broken bad hits, but not the command you normally see from Maddox.
Well, in fairness to Greg, in this inning, that ball fielded by Chipper Jones, had he somehow not fielded the ball would have trickled foul because the spin on the ball would have taken it foul. Chipper tried to make the diving catch. He short hopped it, snow coned it, and then threw wildly to first. That set up the whole inning, and it may not be over yet.
There has been only one hit in this 7th inning. A walk, a wild pitch, now an intentional walk. And the bases are loaded again for Gaetti. Into left field, well hit. At the track, at the wall, grand slam. Gaetti blows it open here in the 7th. Well, if anybody thought the Cardinals were going to cruise into Atlanta, look at the pitching staff, roll over and die, forget it. It's been a 5-run 7th inning, and who'd they do it against? Greg Maddux. That's the end of the night for Maddux. McMichael will take over. It may be too late. Cardinals have scored 5 runs here in the 7th inning, KO'd Greg Maddux, and now another Greg. McMichael takes over, facing Mabry with 2 out here in the 7th inning. Two out, nobody on. Bases were cleared on that one swing by Gaetti. Numbers for McMichael, 5 and 3 during the regular season. Good ERA, a couple of saves. Two and one.
Well, McMichael's best pitch is a changeup. We saw Maddux throw 5 in a row this inning. It's not unusual for McMichael to throw 5 changeups in a row. He sells it with that great arm speed.
2 and 1 on Mabry to the right side and through. So the hit parade continues. Actually, only the 3rd hit of the inning for St. Louis.
Here you'll see the grand slam by Gaetti. A 4-seam fastball. You see the grip there by Maddux. A pitch that he throws very rarely, particularly in the middle of the plate, out where Gaetti can extend his arms. That's a pitch he's been looking for the last 2 days.
High cheese, huh?
Well, his nickname is the Rat, and the saying is you can't get the cheese by the rat. And Gaetti goes deep to make it an 8-3 ball game.
Well, the book on Gaetti is a great mistake hitter. You hang a breaking ball, you throw a fastball out over the plate, and he'll punish it.
1 on, 2 out. Pagnozzi way out in front. Strike 1. 2
big plays in this inning. Once again, a bunt that Chipper Jones dived for and then threw Wiley at first, and then the wild pitch, because if the wild pitch doesn't occur, they don't have to walk Brian Jordan to set up the grand slam for Gaetti.
And you trace that all the way back to the bottom of the 6th inning where they pinch hit for Eddie Perez. Bring in Javier Lopez. Not picking on Lopez.
No,
Lopez comes up with a game-winning hit here last night.
Right.
But definitely a difference behind the plate, whether physical or psychological, with Maddox on the mound. A big inning for St. Louis. Capped on the grand slam by Gaetti. Time to stretch in Atlanta. Cardinals by 5. We get into the bottom of the 7th inning. Everybody's had a good stretch. Maddox walked off the mound after giving up this grand slam to Gaetti.
He's not what you're used to seeing from Greg Maddux, a man that just carves up the corners both inside and outside throughout the season. Throws one right in the wheelhouse to Gary Gaetti.
Gaetti hit 23 home runs during the regular season. He's hit 2 postseason home runs. Here's PETKISIK. He was the loser in last night's game. And while the Cardinals lead here 8-3, you cannot think the Braves now will roll over and play dead. The Braves have the Thunder in their lineup to jump back in it. 1 ball, 1 strike. The count on Blauser. Three hops to Clayton, laid back and got away with it. Leadoff man is gone here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Saturday, it's game 3 of the National League Championship Series when Tom Glavine and the Braves head to St. Louis to battle Brian Jordan and the Cardinals. The road to the World Series on Fox continues beginning at 4 Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. McMichael will be lifted for a pinch hitter. Louis Polonia will come off the bench for Bobby Cox, and we'll have a new pitcher in the 8th inning as Denny Nagel will make his first postseason appearance. Strike 1 on Polonia.
That could answer the question of whether Denny Nagel's going to be the starter on Sunday or not. Bobby Cox telling us last night before the game that Nagel could come in the game last night and still start on Sunday. But coming in tonight, we didn't ask Bobby about that tonight, but one would assume that with only 2 days rest after an inning or 2 tonight, that Denny probably will not pitch on Sunday, that Bobby will go right back to John Smoltz. We're assuming that.
2 balls and a strike on Polonia. Back to PETKISIK. Like we talked about with Maddox early, you expect a lot of ground balls with PETKISIK pitching with that good sinker.
Good power sinker, good sharp slider. Like we talked about Maddox at the top of the show, everything he throws moves down. Very tough to get underneath the ball and get any elevation. Hit a lot of ground balls.
Last night before the game, I asked Mark PETKISIK, I said, Mark, what do you do differently to left-handers, right-handers? And he looked at me and he studied me for about an unusual amount of time, about 10 seconds, and said, I'd prefer not to tell you. I said, okay, well, that's fine.
Doesn't want to give away any secrets.
No.
Honeycutt getting ready. He will likely pitch in the 8th inning with all the left-handers coming up for Atlanta. Good play by Gallego. One of the reasons why he's in the lineup. Grissom hits it hard. He's the final out in the 7th. Into the 8th in Atlanta. Cardinals lead by 5. It is game number 2 of the 1996 National League Championship Series, along with Bob Brenly, Tim McCarver, Joe Buck. We get into the 8th inning, an 8-3 St. Louis lead, and they turn it over to Denny Nagel. The Braves do, and I guess, guys, a chance for Bobby Cox to get Denny Nagel some innings. It's been a while since he's been out there on the mound.
Obtained from the Pittsburgh Pirates for Jason Schmidt, a right-hander who was in the Atlanta Braves organization earlier in the year. This guy is a thoroughbred, winning 16 for Jim Leland's Pittsburgh Pirates.
Fair to say, when it came down that Denny Nagel was going to be traded. That was the beginning of the end for Jim Leyland in Pittsburgh.
That's exactly what I was implying. Yep.
Jim Leyland now with the Florida Marlins. Denny Nagel now with the Atlanta Braves. And in the National League Championship Series, a 1-2 count on Gallego. Gallego really didn't contribute much offensively during the regular season, has the biggest hit of the night. The leadoff hit in that 5-run 7th inning. That hit led to the bunt, which led to the error. Then a walk to load the bases, the sacrifice fly. Then the wild pitch, which was really a key. Dimitri Young on deck. He'll bat for PEGNOZZI. Then after the intentional walk to Jordan, the grand slam off Maddox, hit by Gallego. Gallego strikes out, and a good start for Nagel here in the 8th inning. Folks, this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without express written consent. Glad you're with us here in Game 2 of the NLCS. You'll find the entire NLCS right here on Fox, as well as the World Series. Here's Dimitri Young. Rookie first baseman getting his first at-bat in this series, and he looks at ball 1. Switch hitter with power from both sides of the plate. Former #1 draft pick, and the Cardinals eventually feel he will move in at first base. One out, nobody on. 2-0 pitch. Right back at us.
Your turn, Joe.
Now you can watch me cower in fear.
There it is, right there.
Hey, I got out of the way at least. I'm not going to catch that.
Believe me, it hurts when it hits.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Young.
Well, give it to him. Don't tease him.
The kid made a better play than you did, for crying out loud.
All right, that's enough of that. Come on.
Hey, from now on, they come up here. You guys go into the table. I'll handle it.
2-2 pitch is Young gets under one into deep left field. Let's go back to get it. 2 out. Okay, McCarver, he is all over both of us. I didn't see him.
I'm going to be
diving stabs.
See, I'm gone. You know, you'd handle all
It's not
of
like
it.
we're that far apart up here.
Well, you know, I didn't want to hog your position.
No.
You know, you're playing straight away. I'd have to leave my position to make that play.
It's all right.
You have my blessing. Just take over.
You can consider us the Ray Langford of the broadcast booth. If you can take it, take it. 2 out, nobody on here in the 8th inning, and the batter is Royce Clayton. Big part of the offense tonight for Tony La Russa. A couple of hits, a walk, a stolen base, a couple of runs scored.
You know, I hesitate to make another chance. The first game I did for Fox this year, I made a catch on a foul ball, and I'd like to keep my fielding percentage at 1,000.
0-1 pitch to Clayton. Ball and a strike. It's that kind of night in Atlanta. It's cold. That's what I'm trying to say. Clayton goes after one low and away, strike 2. You know, a lot of people said when the Atlanta Braves added Denny Nagel to their starting rotation, and with a healthy Steve Avery, this could be the best 5-man pitching staff ever. You guys buy into that?
It's among them.
Tough to argue with.
A 1-2-3 first inning of work for Nagel. Bottom of the 8th inning. Braves back down by 5. How about a scoring summary as we get ready for the bottom of the 8th inning? Top of the order that we talked about coming in, 6 out of 14 tonight against Maddox. Grissom, the 2-run home run for Atlanta that jumped them back into the game. Galletti, the grand slam in the 7th inning, which opened it up. Stottlemyre, 8 strikeouts in 6 innings. Maddox, 6 2/3 innings. 8 runs. Wow. Very atypical chorus of boos greeted Rick Honeycutt as he is introduced here pitching in the bottom of the 8th inning. Honeycutt had a few choice words during a pep rally in St. Louis. That was, of course, picked up here in Atlanta. Strike one on Lemke. This is the chance for the Braves. They've got Lemke, Jones, McGriff facing Honeycutt, who had a very strong season. His first in a St. Louis uniform.
Rick Honeycutt, one of 4 players from the Oakland Athletics that followed Tony La Russa and his coaches to St. Louis. Eckersley, Honeycutt, Stottlemyre, and Gallego. It's amazing. It's the first time in Major League history that as many as 3 players have followed a manager from one Major League team to another during one off season. We're talking about it before the game, Bob. It seems like that through the history of the game, that and Eckersley, one of those 4 players that came with La Russa, either through trade or otherwise, to St. Louis, and just seems like the history of the game that should have happened at least once.
Somewhere along the line, yeah, a manager. It's not unusual for him to take his coaching staff with him, and usually at least 1 or 2 players, but first time this many.
2-2 from Honeycutt as Lemke tries to get on and get something started here in the 8th inning. A lot of years and a lot of experience in that Cardinal bullpen, with Honeycutt 42 years old and Eckersley just turning 42 years old. Struck Lemke out looking to start the 8th inning. Well, when you were a kid, there was always one house in the neighborhood your parents wanted you to stay away from. Now you'll find out why, because your first step inside this house could be your last. Don't mix brand new X-Files tomorrow, 9 Eastern, 8 Central on Fox. Understand the season debut was outstanding. X-Files had a big night last Friday night. Don't miss it this Friday. Here's Chipper Jones. There's strike one. Chipper 4 hits here last night. Tonight 0 for 3. You remember his at bat as that hurt. Fouling it off his front foot. His at bat back in the 6th inning. The runners at first and third. The runner at first, Lemke running. He grounded to first. A big out picked up by Stottlemyre during his outing here tonight.
Baseball manicure, huh, Bob?
Oh boy, right off that left instep around the arch area, and that's not a pain that goes away anytime soon. You can walk around, you can spray ethyl chloride or whatever you want on that, but it's not going to stop hurting for a while.
I said manicure, I meant pedicure. They're rarely serious. Occasionally you'll see a player with a broken bone. I guess Matt Williams, the most famous case of that. Matt breaking a foot. Fine third baseman for the San Francisco Giants. That was last year, 95. Boy, do they hurt.
And usually it's on that breaking ball that's coming down and in. You have a tendency to swing over and hit the top half of the ball, and that front leg is opened up. The inside of your instep is exposed, and you could hear that one when it hit Chipper's shoe. Listen to this.
So off the front foot, and Chipper Jones, the crowd just happy to see him walking around without much of a limp. And the count 0-2. By the way, the 8 runs given up by Atlanta here tonight, the most the Braves have given up in the postseason since October 13th of 1992. Wow. Game 6 here in Atlanta, a 13-4 Pirate win. It's been 27 games in the postseason since they've allowed that many.
Yeah, coming into this game, the last 14 postseason games, the Atlanta starters 11-1. And that one loss, Greg Maddux to the Cleveland Indians last year.
To the left side, Clayton bounces it. Mabry can't dig it out, and Jones is on.
careless error here. High hop, low throw.
Has himself in good position, just doesn't make a good throw. Chipper Jones getting down that line. I'm sure that foot was barking the whole way down the line, but you'd never know it by this effort.
So Jones is on the error. First error tonight by St. Louis. A couple of Braves errors have really hurt Atlanta. Now the Braves will try to make this one hurt St. Louis. Here's McGriff, and there's strike one. Hitting 200 in the postseason. Tonight 0 for 2. Last night 0 for 4. One ball, one strike. If you're Honeycutt, you know you have McGriff now, and Klesko, he waits on deck. One on, one out. Gallego can't handle it, and something is brewing for the Braves here in the 8th.
That was a tough chance. There's sometimes you're committed to a backhanded play, and that was one of them. Ball to the right of Gallego. He was trying to make sure of at least one. Infielders are reminded of that with a 5-run lead. Ball hit fairly well. Kind of skitters under the webbing of Gallego. Should be scored a base hit.
No official word yet.
Ball was hit very hard. McGriff appeared to be sitting on that breaking ball after taking the curveball for a strike. For strike one, Honeycutt came back with a fastball inside and missed, and then came back with the third breaking ball, and Freddie McGriff was all over it.
It is being scored an error, but that is a tough error in my judgment.
Here's Ryan Klesko. He can make it a game with one swing. Barely missed from Honeycutt. So back-to-back errors. Lemke struck out leading off. Chipper Jones grounded one to short. Clayton took too long. Now the error by Gallego. Klesko trying to jump the Braves back into it. Into left center field. Hit rather deep, but slices to Gant. 2 out. And the runners back to first and second with 2 out here in the 8th inning. And that's going to be the end of the night for Rick Honeycutt. So better defense behind Honeycutt. He would have been able to get through the 8th inning. Instead, here's Eck. Dennis Eckersley takes over here in the 8th inning. Cardinals lead by 5. No save situation tonight for Dennis Eckersley. He had a save in each of the 3 wins against San Diego. Here are his thoughts in finally getting back to postseason baseball.
How can you possibly appreciate anything until it's gone? You know, it's like I've played with a lot of guys like their rookie year on. They're in the playoffs or World Series. So it's hard to have an appreciation for that. So 4 years is long enough drought to appreciate where I am right now.
He's had a very good postseason. Had 30 saves during the regular season, and he takes over here in the 8th.
Mentioned Rick Honeycutt, 42 years old. Dennis Eckersley, 42 years old. The first time in postseason play in Major League history where a team has had 2 42-year-old pitchers.
Eckersley into the game, and Jermaine Dye looks at a strike.
In 1958, the New York Yankees, playing against the Milwaukee Braves, had 2 42-year-olds. One was Enos Slaughter, an outfielder and pinch hitter. The other, Murray Dixon, a pitcher.
1 ball, 1 strike on Jermaine Dye. Slaughter had his number 9 retired in St. Louis this year. Oldest active players in the big leagues, Honeycutt and Eckersley at the top of the list. A 1-2 count on Jermaine Dye.
I asked Eck tonight before the game how many more years. He said 1.
2 on, 2 out. Dive pops it up. Shallow center for Langford. Eckersley comes in, shuts the door on the 8th. We head to the 9th. Game 2, NLCS. Cardinals looking for the split. The world champions are down 8-3 as we head into the 9th inning. Game number 2 of the NLCS. Mike Mordecai takes over at third. They take Chipper Jones out. Chipper fouled that ball off his front foot, his left foot, his last at bat. Steve Avery takes over on the mound. A 7-10 season with an ERA of up near 4.5. Langford looks at ball 1. 1 for 9 in the postseason for Langford, but tonight a sacrifice fly back in the 7th inning. No longer keep game-winning RBI, but that's what it would be for Langford. His sac fly to center put the Cardinals on top. They went on to a 5-run 7th inning.
And Joe, speaking of sacrifices, rarely have 2 consecutive postseason games been decided by bunts. But a case could be made that last night's was decided by a bunt, Chipper Jones, and tonight Tony La Russa bunting Mark Sweeney. I mean, we've had 3 key situations: a non-bunt with Alicea last night, then the bunt by Chipper Jones, only a second of the year, and the bunt by Sweeney tonight by La Russa.
Full count on Langford.
And this is the year of big offense.
Yeah, right, right. All the home runs in the world hit the major leagues this year, and here we've had 1 non-bunt that was important and 2 sacrifices the last 2 games.
3 balls, 2 strikes on Langford leading off, and a leadoff walk. So not a good start for Avery, who had a very frustrating regular season. Saturday, it's game 3 of the National League Championship Series. Tom Glavine of the Braves head to St. Louis, take on Brian Jordan and the Cardinals. The road to the World Series on Fox continues beginning at 4 Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific on Saturday. If things stay the way they are, first 2 games will have been split here in Atlanta. There's a strike to Ron Gant. Very good postseason for Gant, who during the regular year hit only .246. Tonight has to feel awfully sweet for Ron Gant. Wade and Klontz getting ready in the Braves bullpen. That's what they think of the way Avery's pitching. A leadoff walk, and they have action already. Strike 2 on Gant. Last 2 outings combined 1.3 innings. 11 hits, 12 earned runs. ERA of, well, just over 83. 1 on, nobody out, and a 1-2 count.
And Steve Avery on the last year of his contract. It is doubtful that the Braves will re-sign him. The Braves with economic problems as far as their salary is concerned. The salaries almost have to sign John Smoltz. David Justice with 2 years left on his contract. John Schuerholz with the luxury of deciding whether Jermaine Dye is mature enough and good enough to take over in right field as their regular right fielder. So the economics of this team could change drastically next year.
Gant strikes out looking on a fastball over the inside corner from Avery. 1 out here in the 9th.
Well, you can be sure there'll be a team out there that will be willing to take a chance on Steve Avery. Still has a great arm. Seems to get in a lot of mechanical problems. He has a lot of motion out there, a lot of movement, and he's either in the strike zone too fat or he's way out of the strike zone just too often this season.
One team that is reportedly interested in Avery is Detroit. Avery from Michigan, lives in Taylor, Michigan. I don't care what kind of a season Steve Avery has in 1996. he goes to Detroit, he will be the guy. 2-0 now on Jordan.
He could go to several teams and be their #1 guy, as a matter of fact.
No doubt. But definitely a disappointing season for Avery. Another one back at us, 2-1. So much so, disappointing wise for Avery, that if Bobby Cox will use a 4th starter, it will be Nagel, not Avery. A walk and a strikeout to start the 9th inning. A 2-1 coming to Jordan. 2-2.
Here you'll see Avery's delivery to home plate. Big high leg kick. He really used to have problems earlier in his career with this break of his hands. He would break too soon. He would break too late. He could never really find that comfort point so he could get his arm in a position to throw the ball. It's been a constant project for Leo Mazzoni, and I'm sure it's very frustrating at times.
Also a problem that Avery has had throughout his career is opening up too soon. A lot of hitters do that with that front shoulder.
Jordan stays alive as Lopez couldn't hang on to the foul tip.
It's to the point where Steve Avery, to keep that shoulder closed, is actually, he has a closed stance on the mound right now. You see the right foot pointing toward first base. That did not used to be the case. He used to be level, but you see the right foot, that's to try to keep the front part closed.
Jordan sticks the bat out, gets a base hit to right. Langford goes station to station. And it's 1st and 2nd, 1 out here in the 9th inning as Jordan has his 2nd hit. Crowd growing restless with Avery here in the 9th inning. It's an 8-3 game. You know, Bobby Cox comes out, takes the ball out of the hand of Steve Avery. Talk about a pitcher with no confidence the rest of the postseason.
Yeah.
I think if anything is left in this game for Atlanta, it is to get confidence for Steve Avery, and he may pick up some if he can get out of this 9th inning. Here's Gaetti, whose grand slam in the 7th inning broke this game open. Off the mound to Lemke. Good play, inning over. There's a shot of confidence for Avery, and it's his buddy Lemke who helps him out of trouble. Bottom of the 9th inning, last chance. Cardinals by 5. Bottom of the 9th inning, last chance for Atlanta here in game 2. An 8-3 St. Louis lead coming up in just moments. Tim, Bob, and I will award today's Chevrolet Player of the Game. Bobby Cox and the Braves obviously have their hands full with St. Louis. Last night a 4-2 win behind Smoltz, and tonight the Cardinals score 8 runs in 6 2/3 innings off Maddox. Only 3 earned runs. Javier Lopez will bat for the first time tonight. Ben Blauser. The 7 and 8 hitters will start the inning here in the 9th. Lopez looks at a strike. Don't forget, game 3 of this NLCS is coming up on Saturday. 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. From St. Louis, Lopez off Gaetti's glove for a leadoff base hit.
Boy, was that ball scorched. Gary Gaetti didn't have a chance to get the glove up facing home plate. That's how hard the ball was hit.
The ball was actually by him. He barely got a piece of leather on that. Well, Lopez cheating for that fastball, gets it from the middle of the plate inside and really turns it around.
Infielders ought to be given cestas for balls hit that hard. That's highlight. That's highlight territory.
Man, there's a ball to Jeff Blauser. These things are made out of wicker, aren't they?
Yeah, no, I rethought that.
1 on, nobody out. A 1-1 count on Blauser. Mordecai, the third baseman, on deck.
I thought you said Cessna for a minute. I thought, what the heck does he need with an airplane on that ball?
Ball wasn't airborne that long, was it?
Not at all.
1 ball, 1 strike. Situation for the Braves, if the bottom of the order can get something started, then the heart of the order can come up here in the 9th inning to do real damage. 2-2 on Blauser. But the key for Atlanta is getting something going, and Lopez gave him a good start. Mordecai will come to the plate for the first time tonight next. Two and two on Blauser. Full count. No doubt a Hall of Famer, Dennis Eckersley, in his 21st season. 92 MVP, Cy Young Award winner. That was for his work out of the bullpen in Oakland. Jordan runs out of room, and Blauser has a life.
It's one of the most remarkable things in the history of baseball, Dennis Eckersley's career, because those 353 saves came after 361 starts in the major leagues. 12 years as a starter. He didn't start saving games until 1987.
He's really had 2 careers.
Yeah.
And still going strong.
3-2 on Blauser. He shoots one into right for Jordan. 1 out here in the 9th inning.
And you might wonder how at 42 years old can he still go out there and do it, but we all know Dennis Eckersley is the first guy here at the ballpark for the St. Louis Cardinals. He goes through a very rigorous workout every day before the rest of the team even gets here.
The word on Chipper Jones, word from the dugout, a bruised left ankle. He should be fine for the rest of the series. But Mordecai took over in the 8th inning and gets to batting in the number 9 spot. He's had a good season for Atlanta.
He has been Bobby Cox's best right-handed pinch hitter. Guy schooled in the game of baseball by Eddie Stanky.
You know, you're talking about Eckersley, some of the most unbelievable numbers. In 1989 with Oakland, Eckersley was 4-0 with 33 saves. For the entire year, he walked 3 hitters. The next year, he saved 48. He walked 4.
That's ridiculous.
He lost it.
Ridiculous. Yeah, he lost it. Right.
1-2, the count on Mordecai.
He has not walked a batter in postseason play of his last 58 batters faced dating back to 1988. That was the same series. And Kirk Gibson hit the home run.
In fact, it was the walk to Davis that preceded.
That's right. That's the last one.
Mordecai strikes out looking, and the Braves down to their final out here in the 9th inning.
I think it was to Mike Davis.
Right. Mike Davis drew the walk. And then Eckersley gives up the home run to Kirk Gibson. You not only have Eckersley in this game tonight, you have La Russa, and you have his bench coach, Ron Hassey, who called for the pitch. He was the catcher. Here's Grissom. There's strike 1. Marquis Grissom has had a breakout night. 2 out of 4. There's Hassey in the background right behind La Russa. Grissom 2 out of 4 tonight with a 2-run home run back in the 3rd.
Tony La Russa's got to be delighted coming into Atlanta against the best pitching staff in baseball, certainly the best starters, and leaving here probably 1-1 unless the Braves can pull a miracle here.
No miracle tonight. Eckersley throws wild. Mabry saves it, and the game is over. A little smile on the face of Dennis Eckersley as he shuts it down, and the Cardinals come away with an 8-3 win here in Game 2 in Atlanta.
What the heck, eh?
He's got such good control throwing to home plate, but has a little trouble throwing it to first. Just kind of choked it off there. Oh, what a play. Nice going, John Mabry.
Great body language there, wasn't it?
Think he's not still into this game? La Russa and the Cardinals will head back to St. Louis with a 1-1 split of the first 2 games. There's Gary Gaetti, our Chevrolet player of the game. We hope to talk to Gary when we come back on the other side of the break. Remember, Game 3 is coming up on Saturday. Game 2 belongs to St. Louis. Here in Atlanta, they come away with an 8-3 win over the world champs. Hope you have enjoyed our coverage of Game 2 from Atlanta. For Tim McCarver and Bob Brenly, this is Joe Buck. That's it from the broadcast booth after the Cardinals' 8-3 win in Game 2. Right now, let's go down to the field with our Chevrolet player of the game, Gary Gaetti. He's standing by with Steve Lyons.
All right, Joe, this is Gary Gaetti. Gary, yesterday we talked, and you weren't even sure if you could play. Today, you come up with a big home run to put this game out of reach.
Well, you know, my ankle felt better, you know, last night. But, you know, and each day it's been getting a little bit better. It still doesn't, in the course of the game, it's been so cool and wet out here that it gets stiff, you know. So, you know, he took me out last night, but he left me in there long enough tonight to, you know, go to war.
You guys come in here, you battle hard last night, you get the loss, you tied up the series. Going home, it's got to be a great feeling to go in 1-1.
Well, it's better than 0-2, that's for sure, you know, and we feel like, you know, we've got something to prove against these guys at home. You know, they swept us this year, so, you know, I'm hoping we can change that too, you know, but these are tough-fought games. I mean, these guys are never out of it until the last out's made, and you know, it was a good game, though.
All right, good job, congratulations. All right, let's go back over to Chip Caray.
Okay, Steve Lyons, thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, we now have a series over here in the National League. It's all even, a game apiece. Of course, the Braves won Game 1. The Cardinals here in Game 2 gave the Braves the tomahawk chop. Gary Gaetti certainly had the big blow in the ball game, but I think what Tim McCarver said was right on target. The bunt by Sweeney really helped set up that inning, and that was a big part in the Cardinals' victory here tonight. Of course, Game 3 will continue on Saturday in St. Louis. A battle of left-handers. Tom Glavine will oppose Donovan Osborne. That's Game 3. Of course, we'll have it for you here on Fox beginning at 4 o'clock Eastern Time, 1 o'clock Pacific Time. So for our entire crew here from Atlanta's Fulton County Stadium, this is Chip Caray. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you Saturday. So long, everybody.